Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Monday, Country Sunday, number 16 day for this month of October 2023. My name na Capo Daniel, wona own countryman, sense past king, Mr. No Connie. Wona welcome to another episode of our daily podcast, a program where they bring una the truth, they bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work out for this journey to our freedom, to the independence of Ambazonia. Our good people across the globe, those in incarceration and those on the run as IDPs and refugees, are bringing una revolutionary greetings. We go to start today for La République du Cameroon, where their population, where they mourn and they still cry for the people that didn't die for that landslide will take place for Banko for YAOUNDÉ. Atanga Nji Paul, it don't come as La République, na a comedy country for try for reduce the amount of people that didn't die in a classic way of La République du Cameroon for minimize loss and for dehumanize victims of such natural disasters. On a listen.
Évoquer ce sujet sans se rappeler de l'éboulement survenu au quartier Banko à Yaoundé dimanche dernier, ayant causé la mort de 28 personnes, 3 disparus.
As when I hear the population, they shout, they buoy, as it talks in at 26 people that don't die, the death of 26 people them, the population shout for your head. They talk say more than 100 people them, that their body they be removed from Banko the same day where that landslide it be. Atanga Nji Paul, in the same way where they reflect the credibility of the Cameroon government, turn around for lie about which way it took just few seconds from time where it be booed. When I listen.
Je dis bien la mort ayant causé la mort de 28 personnes identifiées. 28 personnes identifiées.
So, now the type of country that way would it deal with them. When I hear very well, it talks say 26 people them be dead for that particular landslide from Banko. When the population shout for head, say more than 100 people then died that same day. It turned around, it talks in 26 identified persons. But clearly, no be think that way, it talk as a claim for talk.
Sans se rappeler de l'éboulement survenu au quartier Banko à Yaoundé dimanche dernier, ayant causé la mort de 28 personnes, 3 disparus.
So definitely, it talk about the statistic way the Cameroon government is pushing for the international community. Saying that 26 people then die, even give the number of people the way they be injured. So you know, be been a mistake. Atanga Nji Paul it lie for public, and that is what Cameroon is, a scamming country. They don't want me the international community they open any investigation for talk about which way actually happened before that landslide it happened for inside Yaoundé for Banko. But francophone them, their activists they don't come out for explain clearly which way happened. Na a matter of negligence, na a matter of corruption, it killed them.
Fait un live en direct du lieu du drame d'Banko, Yaoundé, où il y a eu les morts. Catastrophe naturelle en Banko. Rien de naturel se passait en Banko. Le mur, il y avait un mur qui soutenait le lac qui était au sommet de la colline, de la montagne là. Le mur a été conçu par des Allemands. Ça y a fait presque, je dis même 100 ans là, c'est petit. Plus de 100 ans. Rien n'a jamais touché le mur. Le mur a toujours été.
For people they need to hear Egyptian language, these activists for francophone it explain say that landslide it happened because an embankment wall where the German they be bilam make it begin protect the land, make it not slide. La République they be then say the license for some individual where you go take and open a fish pond for day. Now the blockage where they don't block that water, it don't accumulate. The water go underground, make the ground is soft before it cause that landslide. The Cameroon government they will be involved because they will sell that land certificate, that land title for that man illegally, despite the fact that it will be dangerous for the public. So this is an issue of negligence and corruption. that have caused the death of so many of their own people. So we know that that country is not a country that have credibility. They lie at will. You cannot trust them. You cannot rely on any word they say. So fellow Ambazonians, like we started yesterday, we go continue with the analysis and also for educate our people about the way they report with the European ambassador to Cameroon, where they don't change it. I see the one go and give this in-depth report about the work and the way the European country that they think and the way they do for the ground, and it give an insight for our people then for understand exactly where to go on within the diplomatic cycle. Now where they think where the way they talk where we expect how we do adjust ourselves for we forget the maximum outcome out of this struggle. We could continue with that particular interview.
Philip Van Dam, he is the head of the European Union delegation to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, and we are with him today. It's a friendly organization to Cameroon.
There are different issues here. I think it's not necessary to us to find solutions to domestic problems, but of course we are concerned because indeed crises are impediments to sustainable development and prosperity for all the people, and that's one of the purposes, I guess, of all countries. I would say we have been present in the Northwest, Southwest through our humanitarian actions. Our humanitarian agency is very present, even though it's not necessarily visible, because we are working through UN agencies, CIC to a certain extent involved through these things. But of course, my feeling, and I think when I speak to different people from different quarters, including within the military, people admit that there is no solution which is only military. We need to continue the political dialogue and find a sustainable political solution to the system, to the challenges of the Northwest Southwest, and that's something the Cameroonian people have to sort out. We are not well placed to do that on behalf of the people. We don't have a mandate for that.
So I go drop small summary for which we don't talk. It don't talk say no be the European Union and the international community their job for begin find solution for our problem. So they need to find solution necessarily for local problem them, because they consider this war as it did now as a domestic issue, even though no be a domestic issue, we don't push them. I think say by now we don't know why they consider it that way. Since we get the failed Canada talk, the war, it don't basically just talk say this problem need to go back for Cameroon sector. They don't put them in that perspective, so it reflect that particular stage. And it be very important make our people that know this fact. These are fluid. I want our people to also know, say the fact say they fit or get this opinion today, things that fit possibly change in the future. If we push the right seat, the right push, things can change. And the issue concerning the solution where it talk, the solution must come to us. In 2019, when the United States of America, they be decide to come up with a solution where they inform the Cameroon government, say me the Cameroon government grant Ambazonia autonomy. The Cameroon government basically be deny them. Their House Speaker, if you put out statement for insult the American government, for talks America no get no right, no power for try for push for any solution for inside this problem. And at that moment, the most Ambazonian activists and leadership from my engagement with them are not even aware that this thing actually happened. And the American government usually would use diplomats who have deniability, like the former Secretary of State, Herman Cohen, where we know say he be approach the IG care of Yerima as one of the group, the way they be informed them about the proposition, say in case Ambazonia if we consider autonomy. And I say they always talk about consider in a diplomatic language. Instead, they think it be sweet the Yerima is skin to them. Instead, come out go for us, I go talk say they don't appoint Ambassador Cohen as the ambassador for Ambazonian interim government. I think so we really need a lot of study, a lot of competency in our struggle. The fact say we will not be even take this consideration for the Americans, it will look like a snubbing. Say people they try for can propose solution will not even consider them. And this is just what has happened. So I want to bring that to your attention. He also talked about impediment to sustainable development. Now the priority for all European countries them. That means when they look this war, since the United Nations it be declared a humanitarian crisis, they look for solve the problem based on the fact say now will be an impediment for the development and prosperity of the people for the Northwest and Southwest as it be officially considered by these states. The United Nations humanitarian law means that the war if it act against Cameroon or against the non-state actor them when we Ambazonians them, depending on this type of criteria. So they always look at now would it be an impediment for the development and prosperity of the people in this our Ambazonia. Now the Cameroon government where they launch war, they fight against we or now we the Ambazonian. If they come to the conclusion say now we, and sometimes those are the reasons where it be very important, may we need to do roadblock unnecessarily. They put unnecessary burden upon our people and unnecessary punishment and suffering on our people. We will be perceived like the people the way that they make the people their life they not be bearable. And when the Cameroon government also they go they attack our villages, they burn our villages, they carry all this oppression them, where they send out IDP they immediately run. It also make a good case that the Cameroon government it be the problem for the livelihood, development and prosperity for our people that make it not continue. This is why you see when the UNDP they become with this their reconstruction plan, will not be just outrightly reject them. Some group they be reject them, but will be discussed with them for see the type of development project them where if you go on during war where you no go attack, you no go affect we strategically. Because UNDP it work even for warring country them, for even for Syria in the middle of a war. But sometimes our partisanship it make them will not think because any group go to fear say if they do the right thing, so another group will talk say, hey, they don't chop money, they work for La Republic. Even when that is not the case, even when it could help us diplomatically, we need to be able to have our sanity back in our struggle. So it talk about their presence. The European Union, they are also present through the various NGO, the way they sponsor them and United Nations agency them. So it be important we would respect NGO them when they come for ground. We will know them be the eyes and the ears of the international community. Because for example, if they want to know how many people they suffer or how people they suffer, they will tell this NGO then say they want to support IDP them. Now the NGO they will go come back to say now the so and so amount of IDP then they need for help them. So a simple humanitarian work, if it translates for give the international community a perfect view on what is actually going on in ground zero, etc., etc. He also disclosed some say informal conversation with Cameroon government members, the Cameroon military, then be in support of a political solution. And when I go notice and say now why that way they be replace General Kia, where they put it for Yaoundè with this new general where it don't come General Buba. When I remember I say the general way be day ahead of it, time way become for Insa Bamenda, it make the same statement. Say this war, they not get a military solution. So it be good make our people that understand say even within the Cameroon regime, they get different faction them. As much as we see and say a dictatorship where they be controlled by France, indeed they also get autonomy, they also get some discretion the way it affect the conduct of their army and diplomatic resolution of this war. So it be important make we acknowledge and say then get different faction them, and we also if we use them strategically into our own advantage. The issue about the solution, say solution must come now for we or from La Republic, it be very crucial. No matter what solution where the international community fee consider them or fee support them, it must come for we or for La Republic. So if our own option would present them on the table, now say we want independence or nothing else. La Republic then say they want decentralization in Cameroon Union or nothing else. That is the only thing that will be considered. And the proposition of the international community is also based on our own reception. So if a foreign party, a third party, make a proposition, then our response is mute. They'll just consider and say, I think we will not be interested of, and then they will move on. Maybe we not feel say one day we go fight, we go suffer sute, then the international community could decide to say where they can't help, we know. So we need to know the reason why you have to have various voices that speak on behalf of our people, even for things that may not be what we really support, but it may create other avenue to engage the international community in a way that we may benefit from it. That is why it is important that we have everybody on our side. The opposition party people, even though we ban their activities, but we must have them on our side. We must have the various civil society groups, religious groups on our side speaking on behalf of our interests. If everybody they talk against you, religious group them will ban them, will sanction them, will talk so we don't need them. Political party them will not need them. Even federalism will talk so them be useless. Then at the end of the day, the struggle will be isolated and it will be seen as a struggle where it represents at the fringe of our society. A wider way in the beginning, the Skakuf, they will talk, say, if I will get other NGO the way they do different things them, the way all they would hell up with for one thing. And when I see that is the reason why the Cameroon government it be fight the Paul Foundation so much. And the people the way they be done take bribe or no and where they don't confess it, they be take bribe for this struggle. They be focused for fight against the Paul Foundation. Because even though not just a humanitarian work where they don't get nothing to do with the fighting, but their work it be very critical also for establish certain things and way they happen. So we need to understand all this dynamic so that we will be effective in fighting this war and know who is our enemy and who is our ally.
We have a diaspora, of course, obviously an important diaspora, which is most of an economic diaspora, but we have indeed a couple of separatist leaders in the European Union as well. I think there are several concerns there. One, they have to comply with the law of the EU member states. That means they can't spread hate speech and calls for violence. And they can't finance a conflict through the EU channels, which is not recognized internationally. So they have indeed to respect our laws, but beyond that, again, it's not because people are staying in Europe that we, by nature, should have a mandate to build bridges. I mean, it's again to the government and the separatists to try to find common ground and come together. We can.
So wait to wait it talk it be very important. Say the diaspora community, them they're not supposed to sponsor conflict or violence abroad. But the gap way they didn't say now conflict will be recognized. The conflict of Ambazonia it be recognized already officially. Now whether there is a humanitarian declaration. The parties to the conflict have not yet officially been identified, which was one of the biggest victory we could have if we had an official negotiation going on with La République. That is why La République, it is in their favor to make sure that there is no official negotiation that involves a third party. So if there is an active and recognized engagement of a negotiation, that is actual negotiation, registered as such, it will give Ambazonians people them a lot of legitimacy for support the fighting back home using legitimate finances in the European war, in particular in this case. So it be very important we would know these dynamics and the ramification of things that they do, and so that we take serious things seriously. So when a conflict it be recognized, people they do for diaspora, they feel support that conflict officially. And that one also it go help we will know say if a conflict or a party to that conflict it be also tagged with extremism or terrorism, then no man no go be able to support that struggle officially, otherwise you go to commit a crime for that jurisdiction. So now why that way be important, no matter what we do, make we avoid make this our struggle, they no come tack one day saying an extremist struggle, because it would practically cut off supply for our soldiers and it will cut off leadership, because it will be impossible for anybody for support them financially, even for do activism. It will stop completely. So there is a great risk each time we see say some kind rough work then for ground zero way, if it's chakara work, if it spoil the whole work for the country. Now either way, now a very sensitive issue we will need to take them very seriously.
People are staying in Europe that we by nature should have a mandate to build bridges. I mean, it's again to the government and the separatists to try to find common ground and come together. We can of course encourage everybody to sit around the table, because that's the only solution in the end. You have to sit down around the table at a certain moment and come to a final conclusion, having in mind, the interests of the people who were suffering. I mean, I'm struck, honestly speaking, when I travel, and I haven't, unfortunately, been able to travel too much, but I have traveled.
So this thing where you talk may be important, me what people don't know. It talk about building bridge to help bring about a solution for end this war. So the diaspora community, the international community, no get an obligation, but that is what they are doing. They can meet the diaspora community. I think most of the Ambazonian leaders, the way they be influential on ground zero, have been approached by the international community to talk, to try to see how they can help us to find a solution to the crisis that is causing this humanitarian problem back home. And I think most of us have been interacting with the international community, state parties who call us. And most of the time, it even happens because of Cameroon government action. When the Cameroon government, with this their Sila law firm, they start writing letters abroad to governments that they want to arrest people. Those governments actually instead will come to us. They use it as an opportunity to have meetings with Ambazonians who are in the diaspora and have conversation on how they can help, because they know the truth of what is actually going on. So this is just how things work. That's why it is very important that our people in ground zero then understand you cannot replace the diaspora community, because that is the first line of contact with the international community. The international community cannot go on ground zero to start negotiating or discussing about such diplomatic engagement with soldiers on the ground. It is not possible. It is not allowed with the diplomatic protocol, and our diaspora community plays a very crucial role in our diplomatic engagement. So these are just the basic things, the way he really start the conversation with. We will go inside the big part where it be more important, what is going on within the international community, what have changed, what can we do, what are they expecting us to do. This and much more will come subsequently. So as we go, I will give one big breaking news where we done the Getam. Say Dr. Larry Ayamba, the Pekin for Chief Ayamba, the Oroko of Ambazonia, he then resigned from the Hague of Sea. That is the news with the Getam. And that and much more will come to our people later on to tell them what that may mean to our country and our struggle. Ayamba was the Secretary of State of the Hague of Sea. He was a very powerful diplomatic person, a person of charisma, very huge. I think it's a very huge loss to the Hague of Sea, and I hope he will still continue to do the work his father started for Ambazonia. Capo Daniel looking out for you, signing off. God bless you all.